I'm joined now by Van Turner, president of the Memphis branch of the NAACP. Mr. Turner, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
So what message does today's vote send, do you think, not just to the people of Tennessee, but nationwide?
Well, I think this is an important vote by the Metro Council in Nashville, and here in Shelby County, there'll be another vote for Pearson on this Wednesday. And I think the message is that this country is premised upon the fact that if you have a grievance to redress, if you have an issue, you're able to voice that opinion without consequences. It's what separates us from other countries. And so we go all around the world fighting for democracy, fighting for the First Amendment, fighting for those who have been jailed and killed for speaking out. Yet we have the expulsion of these two representatives here who were expelled for speaking out, and speaking out for a good cause, a righteous cause, a cause that we all know is an issue here in this country, and that's the issue of gun violence.
Well, you know, Pearson, as we just played, described the work environment as toxic. What do you make of that? And could this moment be the moment where change starts to happen?
It needs to happen. And I listened very closely to what Representative Pearson indicated. They would call the question on debates to end debates early. They would cut the mics off. They wouldn't. They're not allowing these representatives to have their full time to speak on the issues. And the reason that the Tennessee Three went to the well and protested was there was no transparent deliberation over gun laws here in the state of Tennessee. And their mics were being cut off and their voices were being cut off. So they had to go to the well to speak out and to speak up. And so it was almost an issue where they were forced to do it. So hopefully going forward, as Representatives Jones and Pearson are reappointed, we will see a change in the Tennessee General Assembly. There needs to be a change. And hopefully we'll see that going forward.
The House Speaker there basically said, look, this had nothing to do with race. This is because these lawmakers violated the rules by protesting on the floor, and essentially a breach of decorum because they used a bullhorn. What do you make of that argument? Is there any validity there?
No. And there were instances that were given the evening of the expulsion about representatives coming to blows, fighting on the floor. Issues where some representatives had their lives threatened. Issues where one representative wore a Confederate tie, and he was not asked to take the tie off. And that's in direct contradiction to the American flag and what we all stand for and what they took an oath to protect. And so they were not reprimanded. They were not expelled. And so here, this seems to be a selective prosecution situation. These representatives were sought out. They were expelled. I called it a political lynching. The majority, if only one of the members of the Republican Party in the Assembly is non-white, most are white men. And so you see what occurred on that floor. We all saw it. And so I don't buy it. Race was definitely a part of what we saw. And hopefully the world will see. We can no longer again go to Ukraine. We can't go across this world fighting for democracy. We talk about Putin and we talk about all the evils of these dictatorships and of all these countries that are doing these horrible things to their citizens. Yet in our own backyard, we see what is played out in Tennessee. So hopefully it's a wake-up call for Speaker Sexton and the rest of the Tennessee General Assembly. We can't have this going forward, and hopefully we won't see this going forward.
Okay, well, we will leave it there with those comments. We will watch both votes very closely. Van Turner, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it.